Hello everyone, I'm Mark Miller, and this is my weekly video update. I'm not going to do my standard update this week, as I'm following many of my colleagues in the communications world in the avoidance of what we call newsjacking after the attacks on the US Capitol last Wednesday, January 6th. Newsjacking, for those of you who aren't familiar, is the practice of using a major news event or story and linking to that event to further your own narrative. I won't be doing that. So you won't see my website today or any form of pitch from me. You know where to find me. Instead, I'll briefly share my thoughts. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment, and I'll put those on the screen shortly, and we can discuss. I ask only that you keep those civil and respectful. Last Wednesday, there was an attack on democracy. People were killed, and one of the greatest symbols of our democracy, the US Capitol building, was vandalized and desecrated. Democracy won, as the electoral votes were counted and certified, but this was clearly still a very troubling event. Things may have calmed down a bit now, but we aren't done. Our democracy has been attacked over and over, and surely will be again. I hope we can maintain awareness of putting the good of the nation as a whole over political parties or teams. Last Wednesday, on my personal social media, I briefly shared a pretty neutral thought on what was going on at the Capitol building. And I saw some troubling statements from former colleagues and friends. A left-leaning former colleague actually said to one of my college friends, "How do you remember to breathe?" insulting his intelligence. A right-leaning former classmate said to one of my high school friends, "Please don't ever run for public office or procreate." Statements like these towards each other don't help us get to where we need to be. They don't really help us with anything. And if we're busy attacking each other, we risk things getting worse from where they are now. We risk more of what we saw last Wednesday. So I caution everyone, just remain civil and certainly fight for what's right in your vote, in your words, in your thoughts, but do so in a civil manner to back down from what we saw last Wednesday and what we've seen before in this nation. So I'm going to close my comments with something I wrote back in 2018, shortly before the midterm elections, but I think it's even more relevant now. Our adversaries want to see us divided as a nation, and this has been successful over and over. Your fellow Americans with a different point of view from your own are not your enemies. Your friends, family, co-workers, or acquaintances who do not subscribe to your political beliefs are likely not crazy or uneducated. Our nation needs civil discourse now more than ever. Instead of fueling hate and buying into the good versus evil categorization of political parties and elected officials, do your best to understand the perspective of others and remember that most of us want the same outcomes. We simply have different ideas about how to get there. So in closing, be kind to each other, listen to each other, and care about each other. Yes, even those who disagree with you. So with that, I don't see any comments for discussion, and I know this has been brief today, but I'm going to leave it there and wish everyone the best and say have a terrific day. Be well, everyone.